All right, let's get started. Yeah. Here's where we were. I don't really have much to say in terms of intro today. I'm actually, it's Tuesday morning, right? Yeah, I've lost track of what day it is. It's definitely Tuesday morning here for me. My whole family has time off from work and school, like basically all week. And so streaming is going to be a challenge because, you know, I'm going to need to be able to have time available to spend with them. So the plan is going to be, at least for today, I woke up early this morning and I'm going to stream a bit this morning before, you know, they wake up and want to go do stuff. So we'll see how far we can get. Last time we finished building these shoulder units, which can't go on here yet because there are no arms to hold them in place. So that is where we're going to start. And I accidentally opened to the proper page as well. So, hooray. Let's set those off to the side. Oh no. Okay. First problem of the day. My nippers are in the house because I was, it was cold out here in my studio yesterday and I wanted to build something. So I grabbed my nippers and I took them in the house. And I don't want to use the backup pair that I have out here. So I'm going to put the stream on pause for a second, and I'm going to go get those things, and I'll be right back. All right. Got him. Here we go. So now we can get started. It's only mildly cold today here in my studio. It's the temperature outdoors is warming up. And so that is helping tremendously. And I think over the next couple of days, it should warm up even more. So we're building the left arm, which, let's figure out which one that is. Must be this one. So this again is the pre-built metallic, mostly metallic inner frame that the kit came with. The joints are very tight, which is probably good because maybe it'll hold a pose once we get all of the armor on the outside of it. So that's our starting point for today. I hope everybody out there had a good Christmas. I did. It wasn't like super exciting or anything, just kind of a chill day with family. But sometimes that's like the best thing that you can have, right? So this slides down onto this little shoulder flap piece here. Maybe we should go with that zoom level for building for a while. So before I do much with that, I'm going to point out that there is a little bit of like a nub on the plastic bit here of the pre-molded runner, or the pre-molded frame. Just want to shave that off. There we go. It was impacting the fit just a little bit. Kept this C runner out because I thought we might need it again, and we do. So I'm going to look ahead a few steps and trim off the parts that we're going to need as we complete the rest of this arm. It actually looks like the arm builds are quite simple, at least compared to what we've done so far. It's mostly just a few outer armor parts onto those existing or those pre-built inner frames. So I'm just going to grab all of the parts that we need first, and then we will trim nubs and fit them all on. I've already dropped the part almost off the table, but I caught it. I am still having the issue that we had last stream of cold fingers, which should improve as we go along because I've turned on that space heater again here in the area where I'm working here in the studio, and so hopefully this is another one of my favorite part designations. I guess they've done this a couple places on this kit where I assume that they laid out the runner and they forgot to label a number. So let me see if the camera's having trouble seeing these numbers, but like we've got 7, 8, 9, and then this part which they forgot to put a number designation on, and then here's 10, 11, and 12's over there, and so on. So there's an extra part that's not labeled, and in the instructions they've chosen to designate that as 9.5. Which I guess is the best idea, right? Because it's sitting between 9 and 10, so they assume you'll figure that out. But that's pretty funny. They must have laid out these runners and accidentally forgotten to label a couple of the parts with numbers, and then realized it later on when they were building or when they were designing the instructions. Oh, I did need number 4 off of here as well. I didn't receive any Gunpla related gifts for Christmas this year, which was fine. I didn't ask for any. Actually, no, that's not true. I received one. Is it here? It is here. I'll grab it in a second, show it to you. Yeah, I have such a big backlog already. It's on the shelf behind me here, which is down below the camera angle, so you can't see it. But there's a big shelf down along the floor there behind me that is full of kits that I have yet to build. And so I figured I didn't need any more. So I actually told my family, like, I don't need any more. And they've lost track, I think, at this point of what I have and what I don't have, so they don't even know what to get for me unless I ask for something specific. So, but my wife did get me one thing, and it's this. It's the box set of Series 2 of the Gundam Artifact kits. So that little Christmas tree that's back there behind me, you might have seen, I made a video, I don't know, a few weeks ago at this point. I had Series 1 of these things, and I built them up, and I sprayed them with Molotov liquid chrome, so they're bright, shiny silver. And I made them into Christmas tree ornaments, and I hung them on that little tree. And so before next Christmas, I will build up those 5 in the box there, and I'm gonna try to see if I can colorize the liquid chrome, maybe with red or green or yellow or something like that. I'm not sure, because it's a weird paint formulation. It's not really an acrylic paint, it's not really a lacquer paint. I'm not quite sure what it is, but if I can figure out a way to put some colored ink or something in there to colorize it, that is gonna be the plan. And then I'll have like the Series 2 of those ornaments in a slightly different shade of color. We'll see how that goes, but that won't be until next Christmas, because that Christmas tree will go away probably later this week with all the rest of our other Christmas decorations from the house when I pack those all up and put them away. Alright, so it wants me to put this undesignated 9.5 part on first, and then decides, no, then this little thing. Trying to figure out where this one fits in. It didn't really specify. Is it up there, or is it down here? It's not obvious. I think it sits in there like that. That makes sense a lot, because it shows that little metal bit through there, so yeah. We'll assume that's the case. Yeah, and then if the little tabs in the side of it fit into these pieces. Kind of. We're gonna have to, yeah, sort of massage it into place there. Alright. And this must go on the back of the elbow area. Alright, so that was a super simple build. That is the entirety of, I guess, the main arm unit. There's kind of these larger bits that fit over the wrists and the forearms that we'll get to in a minute, it looks like. But that is the arm itself is quite simple. Just the white armor on top of the pre-built inner frame. So, with that, let's do the other one before moving on to those. They call them wrist units, but yeah, it's like the fancy big forearms that this guy has. Alright, see if I can remember which parts we need. these two. My hands are still not working with much precision because of the cold. It's above 60 degrees in here now though, so that's good. It's an improvement. Yesterday it was like 30 something when I peeked in the morning, and that's what made me decide not to hang around and do any building out here yesterday. Alright, so this runner, which is what, the D runner? Yeah. Is about to be finished. I think it's the first runner that we finished emptied for this kit. So I'll toss this on the floor. We need this part, right? And then we need that very small little bit that covers the elbow joint. Is that it? I think that might be it. We'll find out which ones I missed when I go to put these on to the frame. Yeah, so the kit I built yesterday out of my backlog. I came out here long enough to grab something off of the backlog shelf, and then took it back inside the house and built it in there where it was not quite so cold. We had a lot of TV watching happening at my house yesterday because on Boxing Day in England, there's a lot of football, soccer matches, and so I try to watch as many of those as I can, and I think we watched four different games all in a row. So what's that, like, 7-8 hours? And so while that was going on, I was building part of the time and then taking breaks and just watching games and then building again. I ended up building the entire Master Grade Jesta, which I had pulled out of my backlog throughout the day yesterday. It was a really good build. I recommend it if you haven't ever built Jesta or Jesta Cannon or one of those variants. I was really impressed with how it went together. There's a little bit of flashing in the mold here, which would need some sanding, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. I was trying to remember at the end of the day yesterday if I'd ever built an entire Master Grade kit in one day before. I don't think I have. Maybe I've done it once. But it was one of those situations where it was such a fun build, I took a break for a little while and then I'd come back to it. And so throughout the day I ended up building the whole thing. Alright, how does this work again? We put this little bit in here, and then these go on the sides. Like that. And this part goes on the back. Very simple construction, but they've done a good job to hide all of the seam lines. And there's lots of good detail, as with everywhere else on the kit. So, yeah, nice. Did I build that backwards? No, I guess not. This was the right arm, correct. Okay. So next are what they're calling the wrist units. Looks like there's 2 of them and they're identical. So we will build them together at the same time. I'll zoom out a notch and then let's set this guy up to the side for a second. Oh, I did discover, since I just touched it, this little additional or the optional V-fin part that we ended up not using. I think that looking at the box art, we should have made this gray piece that I used here. I should have used the transparent green version of that piece instead. Given the box art that I looked at later on, I was like, oh, they show it in the transparent green. Maybe it's on the front of the instruction manual, actually. Yeah, right there. So they show it actually with some of the, I don't know if that's a reflection in the render, because this is definitely the dark blue, not the white. But then this bit, they've got the transparent green. So you can always swap those out as you like, though, because they gave you both colors in the box. So yeah. All right. Before I got distracted with all of that talk, what was I doing here? I was looking for number 16. Yeah. Got it. And again, I'm going to look ahead and see that we also need number 3. And I guess that's it off of this C runner. Since we're building 2, I'll get both of them. Alright, we also need something off of the F runner. I don't know if that's this runner or not. I cannot find the letter designation. No, that's H. I've obviously skipped way too far forward. Here's F. Okay, cool. Number 3 here. And anything else off of this runner? I believe the answer is going to be no. I'm wrong. 7 is also needed. Alright, additionally, we need some more of these little greenish things. 6 and 7 are these 2 here. I'm afraid this part is going to fit into a spot where it's going to be really hard to get it out. So I may not put these in. We'll cut them out anyway, you know, so that they're easier to lose. And then we need some A's. And I believe that these A's should be the dark blue, right? Because the arms are all white, so like, why would you also make the accent color here on the arms be white? I think it's better in this case to use this dark blue color for the forearms. So that's what we'll do. It's kind of cool that you have a choice, though. All right, anything else? Yes. Somewhere here there's a K runner. This might be J. No, this is H. I remember the K's are these little squares. And there's a K1 and a K2. Those are the K2s. These are the K1s. Yeah. Alright, so let us trim these two very small parts first, and I'm going to set them up here on the instruction manual so that hopefully I do not lose them. And later on we'll decide if we actually want to put them in place right now. Or if not, set them off to the side. And then I'll have to find like a Ziploc bag or something to store them in so that they don't get lost. I find it interesting, if you're used to building a lot of Bandai kits like I am, the way they design their parts on the runners, there's almost always three spaces or three areas where they attach to the runner, right? So you have 3 nubs to trim per piece. Most of these on this zero gravity kit, at least so far, a lot of the parts, I won't say most because this one has 3, but a lot of the parts only have 2 spots where they attach to the runner. And so you only have 2 nubs to trim, and I find it slightly confusing because I just like instinctively am looking for that 3rd nub to trim whenever I'm working with a part like this. And it takes me a second to figure out or to remember that there were only 2 on some of these parts. That one's at a strange angle that's going to require a little bit of post-processing work with a hobby knife to get it perfect. But that's good enough. It's going to fit okay. It's not going to impede the fit. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And then later on, when I detail this thing up before painting and when I'm sanding and everything, I can see that and fix it. Hopefully I'll see it. I do look at every part pretty carefully when I go through that step, so good chance that I'll see it, even if I don't remember. All right. So I think those are all the parts we need. To build the rest of the arms. Let's move the parts off of the instructions so I can see what I'm doing. And we start with this. Yeah, so that these transparent green bits are definitely going to go inside of this, and there is no like opening from the back side or anything like that that will allow us to push those back out if I push them in right now. And so because of that, I am going to not put them in, but like this should go in there, right? But we're not going to do that because I don't want to lock myself into having that in there. And you can always drill a hole from the back to push that out later on. However, you would then see that hole through the clear part if you looked very carefully at the completed build. So yeah, I'm gonna leave those out for the moment, and I'll have to save them somewhere and then put them in place in the future when I do the final assembly after painting. Right? Yeah, that seems like the best plan there. Okay. So that's a little disappointing that we don't get to put those in, but it's fine. Just thinking about the music, this station on Pretzel, so I use a service called Pretzel Rocks for the royalty-free background music while streaming, and I like this station quite a lot. I like the music that it plays. However, it must be a really short playlist, or a small selection of songs that's actually available, because I feel like we keep hearing the same things over and over from stream to stream. So I should probably figure out a better or a different station for next time. Interesting. So that pushes in there, and then I assume that when we put these side bits on, they will hold it all in place. Let's see if that is true. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I see how that works. There wasn't anything else that went in here, was there? No. Okay. So we're good. This would also, just for the record, I think look just fine if you went with the white parts instead of these two dark blues that I've got here. If you just wanted the arms to be entirely white, that would be a valid choice as well, I think. But I like the idea of having the blue in there to break things up a bit. Alright, so then this snaps in here, kind of finishes out the look of the backside of that part. Really snapped in tight. I don't know if you heard that on the microphone or not, but it made a loud pop. Alright, so there's that. We'll do the same thing with this one. So once you get that part lined up, it really holds all the things in together that you had to kind of fit together there. And it's quite a tight fit to push these two halves together as well. Alright, nice. So yeah, without the little green clear bit in there, the rest of this is now ready. And so the way this works is, what, this goes out this way, because we want the extra bit to the outside of the arm. Those fit on there nicely. Simple enough. Cool. All right, so these two little parts, I'm gonna set them off to the side in a place where I will remember where they are, right up here on my shelf, above the desk. And hopefully I will not lose those. Okay. So here, let's see if it's easier to put, yeah, so this actually fits kind of snugly into there. And then we can press this in place. Here's the other one. Nice. So he has no hands yet. But there's the rest of, or the upper torso basically complete, with the exception of hands. So this is interesting. This forearm bit fits onto this little rectangular thing there, and it fits nice and tightly, but this thing is on a ball joint, so it moves around. So once you get this in place, which I cannot get back in place, hold on. There we go. So yeah, once you get that in place, this whole thing kind of moves around in a way that I wasn't expecting it to. So as I was just holding this thing and trying to pose it for the camera, I was accidentally moving these forearm pieces more than I thought they would move, but that's good, I think, for articulation. So nice. Okay. So next, it does not want me to build the hands for this guy. Instead, it wants us to move on to the legs. So let's do that. Shall we? Oh, before we do that, this isn't really for you, it's really for me. I wanted to try a new camera angle. So as part of Christmas happening, my son got a new phone, all of his very own phone for the first time ever. He had been using an old phone of mine prior to that. And so, since I got him a new phone, I reclaimed my old phone, and because I had no other use for it, and it's not useful as a phone anymore because it has no SIM card in it, I thought I would try using it just as a camera. So I've got it propped up over here on a custom 3D printed little mounting bracket that I created for it the other night. And I can grab it off of that bracket and use it to, show close-ups of things. However, because it's an older phone, I don't think that the quality is as good. The quality of the camera is certainly not as good as, most of the other cameras that I have set up. So that, I just wanted to kind of see what it looks like just for me, so I can watch the stream back and see whether it's something that I want to continue using or not. Also, I need to adjust this bracket that I have over here because I would like it to be, when it's sitting in the bracket, I would like it to have, you know, a steeper angle looking down at the desk like that. So I just estimated the angle the other day when I designed that thing, and it didn't, yeah, it's not quite exactly right. So we'll call that the, you know, a prototype phase 1 of the camera bracket. And I will adjust it from there and print another version. All right, so somewhere in the box here, I have the 2 inner frame bits for the legs. And these aren't right and left. They're actually identical, interestingly. I forget how they fit. I guess they just, yeah, there's just a peg here. They just fit right up into those hip joints. Okay. Yeah, so these are identical. And there's no designation in the instructions that says we have to build a left one and then a right one. We're just building the 2 of them simultaneously, at least for now. Yeah, it's actually true all the way through the entire process of building the legs. So they are identical. There's no difference between the left and the right sides for the legs. It's been an interesting build because like the torso and even the head had so many parts, and they took a while to build, and now it seems like the arms and the legs, I'm sure that the legs will be more complicated than the arms were, but both the arms and the legs seem to be much simpler as far as number of parts and stuff, because they rely mostly on the pre-built inner frame, and they just add some armor on the outsides of that. So based on how long it had taken to build everything else so far, I was expecting today, when I was thinking ahead about, you know, I'm going to build the arms and then maybe the legs if we have time. I thought the arms were going to take a lot longer than they did. Let's go ahead and grab 12 while we're here as well, because I see that we'll need that on the next step. Actually, you know what? We'll just do all 3 of these steps, and then we'll turn the page to do the rest. And of course, we'll do that for both legs. Alright, so it looks like we need a lot of parts off the eye runner, or at least a few. I think if I'm remembering correctly, this one was the eye runner. Yeah. Okay, so we need 30, which is this one here. But weirdly not 29, so they look really similar. Oh, I see, the attach point is just a little bit different. Okay. And then we need 33. And 6. This runner is the weird one that's like numbered backwards. It's like bottom to top, right to left. So it always takes me longer than usual to find the part numbers. Alright, and then I'm remembering that the Q runner was this red one. Correct. So we need 23 and 24 off of here. And then again, I think we're going to use the greenish color for these vent parts. We could use gray as well. I like the transparent green inside all of these vents. That's probably not what they want you to do. They probably want the gray inside the vents, I'm imagining. Piece got twisted a little bit on the runner. You could tell where the gate was connected there to the piece. There was a bit of a twist. But it does not look like it damaged the part at all, so that's good. Just realized I have a very high tech. It's not very high tech. I have a little door sign that says on air that I hang on the door to my studio while I'm on air, or if I'm recording video or whatever, to let people know that if they open the door, they will be on video right behind me there. I forgot to hang that on the doorknob, so at some point there's a chance that a family member will pop their head in the door to ask me if I'm want to go do something or whatever, and so don't be surprised if that happens. And also, I'm gonna watch the time, or do my best to watch the time, and not stream for too long, so that I can be finished and go back in the house maybe before anybody was thinking about coming out here to ask me about that anyway. The amount of molded detail on these parts is astonishing to me. We've been dealing with them for a while now, but just all of the little angles and details are so good all over this kit. It's very nice. Okay, moving these out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Let's figure out how this works. So it wants this on first. Looks like technically this could go either way. I think the wider angle goes at the back. The instructions don't specifically tell you that, but that seems correct to me. Let's see how this works. They want me to put this front bit on first, so I will. Yeah, so that connects up there. Now I guess we get to find out if it wanted, yeah, it does look like it wanted that narrower bit to be on the front, because that's gonna fit up in there better. think. Maybe they want to go this way. Is this better? Oh, actually that does seem a little better. Now I'm confused. Let's see what this looks like on the back. Yeah, it is narrower on the back. Okay, now we know. So let's press this in place. So these plastic parts where they fit onto the metal inner frame, the fit is a little bit, I won't say difficult, it's just you have to press it really good to make sure that it's all the way on there. And here, because this one has all of these 6 pegs that fit in here, I'm just making sure everything's lined up perfectly before I really start pressing. So this is the first instance where we actually have a seam line that is visible, that's in a not ideal location. It's kind of down the edge here. And it's not terrible because these parts push together pretty well. Excuse me. Yeah, so it's not terrible, but it is there. All right. The other thing my family might do is text me to ask about things. So I should, since my phone just made a sound, I should put my phone over here so that I can see it a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Alright, so this little area here, which pivots up and down, is the vent detail that we're about to be working on, looks like. So we've got this, and we've got this, and then this. And then I think this goes either way, like it's the same top, there's no top or bottom. So just slide this on here like so. Not sure why my throat feels kind of scratchy all of a sudden. Maybe from sitting out here in the cold weather. Alright. Oh, that has a nice little gray fin that sticks out. I was gonna say protrudes. Yeah, that's the fancy word I was looking for. Out through this armor bit. That's nice. And then we have this, which goes on the front of here, and it does have a flat side on the round thing there, just so that this orients facing straight upward. There's a little detail on the end of that thing. All right, and then we have, oh, I thought we forgot I-33, but it's here. It's all good. So this fits in here. Yes, like that. All right, there's one leg up to the point where we turn the page. It's certainly not finished yet. All right, so we learned that the wider part of this piece goes toward the front. All right, and we build this vent. Oh, that sounded like it broke, but it didn't. It was just kind of stuck. That joint was a little bit stuck. Alright, and then this goes this way. Very nice. Alright, so next page of the instructions, and we are, looks like just continuing on with putting a lot of outer armor bits onto these leg inner frames. I'm trying to clean up the nubs over here to my right. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, I think, and cut a bunch of parts. Maybe all the rest of the ones for the leg here, up until like starting right here is where the feet are built. So we'll go all of this all at once, just to try to save some time. Downside of that is that in a few minutes we'll get to see me trim nubs for like 5 minutes or something, because we will end up with quite a large pile of parts, it looks like. I think that's it for this runner. It's actually starting to feel like a reasonable temperature in here, so that's great. I'm looking over there, it looks like it's 68 degrees. This is my E-runner, correct? Correct. Don't think we need anything else off of here. I'm wrong again. Every time I say that, turns out we certainly do need these two bits. And maybe even that other one. This one here certainly looks like it's something we need, but I don't see it called for. However, we do need this one over here.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, this is going to be an extremely large pile of parts. Oh, we already used that part. It was something on the waist. Okay. So that other part on that other E-runner is not going to be used. Alright, you know what? I'm going to trim these right now. There still are quite a few other parts we have to get, but let's do this to get these done.
Oh snap.
Waiting for the song to say, oh snap. Yeah. It hasn't done it. Oh, now it's laughing at me. Perfect. It may almost be time for me to turn off the floor heater, the space heater in here, because it is starting to get warm enough that it's too warm for me wearing this little light jacket that I'm wearing. So I could either take off the jacket or I could go and turn off the heater. And I think the correct answer is to go turn off the heater. Oh wait, the heater's actually plugged in to the outlet, the power outlet that I usually use to power my air conditioner, because I certainly don't need that today. And I have a button on my Stream Deck that will turn it off. So there we go. Perfect. Don't even have to stand up. Alright, let us begin with the parts that we have, and then as soon as we run into a situation where we need a part we don't have, I'll go cut those. So this goes on the front of the leg, the front of the shin, I suppose. And then we do have the bits that go on both sides. So this goes here. Interesting. Is this not pressed in all the way? Ah, it snaps. Okay. Oh, cool. And then this little thing with the detail that we had to put a certain way is now showing up through there.
Oh snap.
Oh, snap. Okay. And then this one goes here. I like it. And then this part here is the gray part that we put on is visible through the back there. Where's my other leg? That's interesting. The other side went on, like, it was very tricky to get it to stay on, and this one is just wanting to slide right off. I'm not sure what the difference is, but this one does not want to snap into place. Oh, snap, right? Yeah, that piece is very loose. So that's a little bit of a concern. Certainly in the final build could be glued. No big issue with that. Or maybe something else will come along that holds it in place, but I kind of doubt it, actually. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, see how loose this is? It's just not wanting to stay on at all. And I'm not sure what was even holding the other one in place. Oh. That's weird. It snapped in place, but now it wants to just slide right off. Interesting. Okay, so those are both a little bit loose. Maybe there will be something that holds them in place. Maybe something up here around the knee will kind of wrap around the outside of those. I guess we'll find out eventually. For now, we need some more parts. Again, on our A runner, these parts that I'm pulling right now are for the like the sides of the knees, kind of right in here. I can again choose between white or blue. And I think I'm gonna choose blue for these. In much the same way that I chose the blue to break up the forearms, so that it wasn't just plain white the whole way. We'll do the same thing here. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. And then we've also got a piece down here that's going to be a detail on the top of the knee, which again, I'm going to choose blue for. Is that 10? Yeah, that's 10. So we'll do that. Of course, I reserve the right to look at that later on and decide to change it back to white if I don't like how it looks. We've gotten to the part of the playlist, apparently, where there are songs that just say random things to us. How long is the stream so far? It's just over an hour, so that's not bad. I started out today thinking I could probably go maybe about an hour and a half or so before I'd have to stop for the day, so that I can spend time with my family. So I think there's a good chance that maybe we can finish these legs. Maybe also the feet. Maybe not. Maybe just the legs. Although it'd be nice to finish the legs and the feet, because then we would have basically the entire body of the mobile suit done, I guess with the exception of the hands. I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but it seems like a large airplane just flew right overhead. That's one thing I've noticed with having this studio space in my garage. It's certainly not as soundproofed as it would have been, or as it would be if it was in my house. So if the neighbors are out making noise, or like somebody's mowing their lawn or something like that, I hear all of those kind of noises out here much louder than I would hear them in the house. I've gotten used to it, and on something like a live stream like this, I don't think it's that bad to have background noise from time to time. I think viewers understand, and you can let me know if that's not the case in the comments or in the chat. But in general, I think that's okay. But if I'm recording for like a YouTube video for like my Blender Gun Plus series or something like that, and background noise happens outside my studio and works its way in and gets picked up by the mic, then that bugs me and I have to do a retake. So it does limit when I can record those kind of things a little bit. Like if I notice that there's a lot of noise happening
that I'm hearing when I'm out here, then I just will choose not to record those types of things at that moment. I'll wait a bit and hope that it quiets down a bit before I start to record. All right, this is the eye runner, and I don't believe we need anything. Yeah, see, as soon as I say that, we definitely need something else off of here. We need 27, which is this large vent right here. And the other two we grabbed were 39 and 40. This runner has a lot of little parts on it that are interesting in like shape and detail and stuff. Like some of this stuff, I assume it's a lot of detail that goes on the backpack of the kit. So we'll see that eventually. I think after I trim the nubs off of these, we will have gotten enough parts to continue on at least for a couple more steps before we run into a place where we need something off of a different runner. Alright, so given that, let's begin. Is this the right direction? I believe it is. Oh, I see. It goes down here. That's kind of like a vent detail, or a cover detail for these two little vents down there. The mirror image of that piece to go up here. So I know I said blue, but with all of the gray detail that shows through here, using the white version of this part would also actually look really, really great, I think. Let's actually do the same one we just built first, and then we will do the two that go on the opposite side. So this one. And then these go here. All right, so 4 of those. And we have this little bit here that goes on the back side of the leg. It fits between them. So let's actually put one on here first. I'm trying to decide if it pushes on more than that. I don't think it does. And then this little bit fits into here. And then we put this one on the other side. While simultaneously trying to capture the other side of this thing in the little groove that's there. There we go. So I was checking to see if that holds this piece that keeps wanting to come off better in place. It does not. So we're still looking for something that's going to hold that in place. Everything else looks real good though. Like the fit, how it fits together is great. Yeah, I'm kind of wishing that I had decided to leave that one in white. I'll probably change that before the final build. Of course, I'm gonna almost certainly paint this anyway. And if that's the case, then the colors that you choose for the colors you choose for the plastic that you're using are largely irrelevant if you're going to cover them with paint anyway. Alright, nice. So next looks like we need something off of the H runner. I believe that's this one, and I don't think we've used it yet for anything. Yes, that is, those are both true statements. So we need 7, which is this large gray part here. And do I need anything else from the H runner? And I believe the answer this time is really actually no. Alright, so this H runner is definitely a different kind of plastic than most of the other runners. And it feels a little bit, I don't know, softer and less good. The detail on the mold is also a lot less sharp. So fortunately, these are just like inner frame parts that really don't look like they're going to show up a lot in the final kit. It's like in the, you know, on the outside of the kit once it's all put together. There might be little bits of it that show up, but it's not going to be, the majority of these parts are going to be hidden. So I think it's fine. That one, for whatever reason, wasn't wanting to fit on just right. Probably my fault. Am I missing a piece? Have I lost a piece? Because that would be bad. First of all, Let's fix that. Right? Do you see this piece? Pretty sure it came off of the E runner, which is this one right here. And it's not here anymore. Right? So what happened to it? I don't see it on the floor either. Someone go back and watch the footage and tell me what happened to that piece. I'll have to do that later maybe so that I can find it. Alright, well, for now, we're gonna continue on without this piece. But I will have to go find it later on sometime. Alright, and before we put that on, we have one of these. What do we need? Probably these long ones, yeah? 2.5 and 3.5. Awesome, okay. I think all model kits now, from now on, should just number every other part on the runner, like just every second part. And then we could have 0.5s everywhere. That would be great. Right, I believe that to line this up correctly, I'm actually going to put this part in here first, instead of putting the part into the vent and then trying to snap the vent over the top. I'm going to do this way, and then I'm going to put the vent over the top of the whole thing. And get it to line up that way. Yeah, that seems like a good plan. Alright, so the longer bit of the detail goes toward the top of the knee here, like that, and then this goes this way. That one snapped in and this one didn't, but they're in the same distance, so that is fine. And this little bit goes on top here. Does it go that way or flipped over? This is correct. It's just a matter of getting it lined up correctly, I guess, for it to fit on here nicely. Presses on straight, even though yeah, I see. I was trying to press it at an angle like down this way because that's kind of the angle of the part, of the detail on the outside of the part. However, it just presses straight on. Get it kind of below where that detail is and then press it straight on. That's more complicated than it should be, probably. Figure out what this one's getting caught on. There it goes. There was a little edge underneath here where it was getting caught. Alright, and then these fit on here. And maybe this will finally hold that front of the leg part in place. Yeah, it does a little bit, because like it still wants to be loose down here toward the bottom. But up there, it's being held in place by that overhang from the knee. We'll leave that one turned that way on the workbench so that you don't have to see that there's a missing piece. Right, so this is good. And this one's missing that piece right there, which I'm sure is around here somewhere. I'll find it. Alright, so it has been an hour and a half, almost, and it's about time now. Looking at my clock here, I'm probably going to have to stop for now so that I make sure that everything's ready to go for the rest of my day. So yeah, this is about as much time as I'm going to have. So we've got legs, but no feet yet. So next time we will do the feet, assemble the entire mobile suit so that it is ready for all of its backpack and weapon loadout, which I believe is next here on the instructions. But that will, like I said, have to wait until next time. I'm gonna try to do these kind of early morning streams this week, because that works best with my family's vacation schedule. So maybe tomorrow morning, or if not, then definitely Thursday morning, at about this same time. My time, it's morning, I guess. It might not be for you. But about this same time on either tomorrow or Thursday, we should be back with another stream about the same length, probably, depending on how early I can get up and get ready to go. And we'll continue on with feet, and then the rest of the weapons loadout and backpack and stuff. Yeah, the backpack unit is next, according to the instructions. And it is quite large, and actually takes up the majority of the instruction booklet. Interesting. So yeah, there's like, 9 more pages of instructions of just the backpack before you get to the last page, which has the weapons. So yeah, that's what to look forward to for next time. I'll try to, like I said, make it happen in the next couple of days sometime, because I really do want to finish this. I think it's a really, really good kit, and I want to see it all completed and put together, and posed and everything. So we'll get there soon, hopefully within the week, if I can manage enough streams to finish it up. So thanks for watching. I will see you next time, whenever that is, and happy building.